And welcome back to Euroleague basketball on ESPN. It is a third-place game. CSKA Moscow taking on Partizan Belgrade from Paris. Let's meet the starters for each team.
Number 7, Dusan Kecman, Serbia.
Number 24, Jan Veseli, Czech Republic. Number 33, Slavko Raneš, Montenegro.
Number 4, Lawrence Roberts, United States.
Number 6, Bo McCallum, America.
So that the team from Serbia, Partizan Belgrade, one Euroleague title. It happened back in 1992. They don't get to this spot very often, and this has been a hard-nosed club. They'll be taking on CSKA, a team that's been full of titles, as we now meet the team from CSKA.
I'm number 9, Ramūnas Šiškauskas, Lietuva.
Number 10, J.R. Holton, United States.
Number 21, Trajan Langdon, United States of America.
Number 24, Alexander Kaun, Tomsk, Россия. Number 31, Viktor Hryapa, Ukraine.
And we are underway in the third-place game. It'll be CSKA wearing red with the basketball first. Partizan wearing their white uniforms. Mark Brown along with Gail Gurgic. Siskauskas off the fake. Leaves it off for Khan down low. Blocked from behind. There was Kecman coming down to help out.
Well, Mark, you know, Siskauskas had a pretty decent shot there coming off the pick, and I think they're going to have to take those kind of shots because Partizan is awful big underneath, and to attack them in close to the basket, it's not CSKA's game. CSKA's a great shooting team. You got an open shot, especially when it's about 15 feet. You got to go ahead and take it.
And especially when it's Ramūnas Siskauskas. Surprising to see that indecision here early. This is Lawrence Roberts. Lost it momentarily. McCallum, who had a cramp in his right leg late in the semifinal loss to Olympiacos, back in the starting lineup. He's had his treatment. Actually returned to that game as well to play down the stretch in that overtime thriller. And a foul away from the ball as Langdon trying to get loose.
I look for CSKA to really try to control the tempo in this ball game, and we saw there that Holden was out there, brought the ball back, set it up. They'll control the tempo, try to run Siskauskas and Langdon off of picks and get them a shot. Now, right away, Partizan goes into a 2-3 zone, and I'm not sure that's such a great idea because CSKA can really shoot the basketball from outside.
Siskauskas launching from 3. Good block out and rebound from Roberts. This is McCallum. Good quickness matchup between he and Holden. Jan Vesely in a post up against Siskauskas. Big height advantage for the youngster from the Czech Republic. Vesely into the lane, in traffic, draws contact, and 2 free throws coming for Jan Vesely.
Yeah, Vesely gets that ball in there in the low post situation. He's got a height advantage on Siskauskas. And if I was him, I'd go ahead and that quick move right away because he can just jump right over Siskauskas and take the ball right to the hoop.
That is Sasha Danilovic, Predrag Danilovic, a legendary Serbian player who is now the president of Partizan Belgrade. A brief time in the NBA with Miami and Dallas during the course of about 2 years in the mid-90s, but a man who was the MVP for Partizan in 1992 when they won their only Euroleague title. So he's the brain trust now, and he sees his Partizan team in the Final Four for the first time in decades. Trajan Langdon, pull-up jumper, and he puts CSKA on the board with a 3.
And that's there all night long as range is in there. Range doesn't have a lot of great lateral movement, and for him to switch on that screen and roll is very difficult. So CSKA, that's something they really need to exploit, I think, is just run Siskauskas and Langdon off the high post with the screen.
5 on the shot clock, and a foul on the drive. It'll be Holden or Siskauskas converging on McCallum.
Partizan's offense really is twofold. It's either to get the ball in low to the big man where they got some size and advantage, and we'll see that particularly when Marge comes off the bench, who's very, very effective in the low post, or to have McCaleb drive and penetrate, and we saw that's what he did there that time.
First free throw good for McCaleb. The foul was on J.R. Holden.
One. Don't push to the back. Don't push.
And McCaleb has both. Langdon creates some space, step back jumper, so he's got the touch early. 5 quick points for him.
Yeah, Deckman is a very good defender, but that's a tough matchup for him, particularly when they start to set the high screen and roll.
Vesely, great position down low, tried to force a pass. Didn't need to do that, probably should have just gone up with it. Here's Siskauskas, no numbers for Seska. Now, Sasha Khan. Another pull-up for Langdon, who rattles it in. He's got all of Seska's points here in the opening. 2 threes sandwiched with a 2 in between. 8-4, Seska, it's all Langdon.
Yeah, again, you know, running him off those screens in the high pick and roll forces Reigns to really commit himself.
Big turnover, Karapa pushing the pace the other way and scores over Roberts. A great run here for Seska to go 10-4.
Yeah, Seska's off to a great start, shooting the ball well, getting good high percentage shots.
Here's Vesely on top. Back for McCaleb down low. Nobody's guarding Roberts on the baseline. He missed the jumper. Keckman got the rebound and was fouled.
Yeah, there's a mix-up on the defensive switch there. And Roberts was all by himself. See, there's Langdon coming off the screen, a little screen there. No one steps out. And Keckman is in a very tough situation. We see Karapa there getting out and running the floor, which we can do. Selected all Euro last night, first team.
And well-deserved for that, as well as already knowing that he was the defensive player of the year. We'll have a full listing of those who made the first team later on in our coverage from Paris. Keckman, meanwhile, getting both free throws, stopping a little 7-0 run. And Keckman will come out. And in to replace him is Peter Bozic, number 20. Siskauskas feeding Khan inside. Vesely fouled him.
Yeah, nice screen and roll that time. That time, Reigns came out to contest the jump shot a little bit. Go down low on a screen and roll.
Dusko Vujocevic, the legendary coach for Partizan in his 3rd stint with the storied franchise from Belgrade. McCaleb in the passing lane, knocked it away but could not control it, so Seska will keep the ball. Still a good 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Two 3 zone by Partizan.
Karapa goes right down the middle, blocked by Vranic. Quickly hitting ahead, Roberts finds McCaleb, who can't hit, but the follow-in by Vesely.
One thing that Partizan does very well is they run the floor. They can rebound. That time it was a block shot. Initiates the fast break, get the ball out and run. And particularly Vesely, who is 6'11" at the small forward position, he can run the floor.
This is Karapa against Bozic. Spins quickly on him. Encounters Vranic. Now it's Siskauskas with the step-back 3 on the way. Parries it.
Well, he's a great three-point shooter. Shot around 55% this year. Led the Euro in three-point shots.
Vranic out high, the 7'6" center. Bozic has room on top. Can't hit the 3. Siskauskas the rebound.
Yeah, great block out that time by Siskauskas. Seska now running the half-court offense.
Langdon, we'll see if he's still got the hot hand. Pulls up from just inside the arc. Rebound McCaleb.
Yeah, but he had a good look that time.
McCaleb pushing it.
Very fortunate.
Holden forces him to come back out. Roberts on top. Vesely has it knocked away, but a foul happening underneath the basket away from the ball. It's going to be an offensive foul on Partizan. Here's look at how Trajan Langdon's done so far.
Yeah, he really has gotten off to a good start, but again, he's very effective using those screens. Here he just creates space with against Deckman. Here he is, comes off the screen again by Kahn. It's there all night long, that jump shot.
So hot start for Langdon, who will come to the bench for his first rest of the game. 1 of 2 from inside the arc, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Langdon averaged 14 points per game during the regular year and a 54% shooter from 2, 47 from 3. That was 4th best. Well, CSKA Moscow has reached 8 straight Final Fours dating all the way back to 2003. During that time, they were able to come up with 2 titles, but they didn't come immediately. They had to lose in the Final Four a number of times before they cashed it in 2006. Matthias Smodis was a big part of that. Theo Papaloukas as well. They had an incredible battle with Panathinaikos. But the core of this team, mostly led by Itor Messina, who is no longer the head coach, has kept Siskauskas, Holden, Langdon all together as part of many of those 8 Final Four teams, including 4 trips to the championship game. Their new coach this year, anyway, Evgeny Pishutin, got them to an 8th straight Final Four appearance, but not a 5th straight appearance in the championship game.
Yeah, and this was really supposed to be somewhat of a rebuilding year, having lost Morris and Lorbach, who we'll see in the second ball game playing for Barcelona. They really did not go out and recruit really any players. They decided to go ahead with what they had, and of course what they had is awfully good, and here they are back at the Final Four again. But you know, again, they started out slow this year, but built and really during the year was very, very effective.
Absolutely. They've got Kirapa to step forward and become an even better player. And that was a big part of their success. They've been able to play him at power forward effectively. And, of course, Sasha Khan, who's played so well at the center position, a guy they could really count on for production.
Yeah, and without question, they, you know, those 2 players, Kirapa and Khan, really stepped up and have had tremendous seasons.
Behind that, I guess that was the problem. The depth up front hurting them in the end. March has just come into the game, had it knocked away, complaining he was held, but it will go to CSKA.
Yeah, now with March in the game, I think things will change a little bit. They definitely will go down low to him because he really is a monster down low. And I look for him to actually step out on the screen, those screens that Khan is setting a little bit more than maybe Varings did.
Langdon the drive to the basket. He's fouled by March, who's still talking about the other end of the floor. March had a spectacular game in the semifinal, but it wasn't enough.
Well, we see there Langdon using his quickness and really going right at March with a little hesitation and really trying to make March make a commitment. He goes right at him, creates the foul, and Langdon is off to just a terrific start here tonight.
Zoran Planinic, a starter in the backcourt much of the year for CSKA, but had a disastrous performance in the semifinal. He was 0 for 7 from the field, even missed both his free throws in only 13 minutes of action as Langdon gets both there. He's got 10 points already, 10 of the 15 for CSKA, who lead by 7.
Yeah, and you know, another thing about CSKA, you know, Holden was hurt part of the year. And of course, Smolis, who was out all year, though that really, I think, hurt CSKA early on. And we may see Molis play a little bit later on in this ball game, but he really is a very, very good player. And well, he played a couple minutes on Friday in the semis.
Vujocevic, meanwhile, is picking up a technical foul. He's been arguing pretty vehemently.
Well, you know, if there's any question whether you're going to come to play, you know he came to coach.
That's for sure.
This third place game.
And the problem when you put any of these perimeter guys on the line for CSKA, they are just lights out free throw shooters. Langdon.
This is a great shooting team. It's surprising Langdon misses that. Now they get the ball back again. So
8-point lead for CSKA, largest of the game.
Partizan now back again in their 2-3 zone.
Here's Holden on the wing. baseline. Langdon, quick turn and fire. It's a 2, but the hot hand continues. He's got 13 points in the quarter, Gale.
Oh boy, he's on fire. But again, all these shots are good looks. I mean, there's really none of these shots are really contested or pressured. There's a turnover by Partizan. That's one of the Achilles heels that they do have. They do some things very well, but one of the things is they do turn the ball over about 17 times a ball game. To see Langdon, that's uncontested. I mean, he's got a great catch and shoot, quick release, and he's smart. He goes to the open spot against that zone.
So it's been a bad start for Partizan, down 10 now.
Partizan back into their man-to-man.
And a foul underneath the basket.
This is not basketball.
I call the foul. That's it, okay?
No, this is not basketball.
33. Block.
And for the foul is on Vrains, and I think he's a little frustrated. And right now, CSKA is shooting the ball very well. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and they're just a little bit quicker than Partizan.
Meanwhile, March has gone back to the bench after a quick stint. It's not got, oh, now he's back in the ball game. Now replacing Vranic, who just committed the foul. So see, Maric has yet to have an impact on this game, which is odd because for the most part, whenever he's been on the floor this year, he has been productive. Failure to control the defensive backboard hurting Partizan there. CSKA will have the ball underneath.
Savic, of course, looks a little, I think, frustrated right now. He got the technical, and also his team is not playing very well. It seems to be lacking a little bit of emotion, which I'm sure he's trying to fire up.
Rebound to Vesely. Clearly feeling let down after playing their hearts out and losing a heartbreaker in overtime to Olympiacos in the semifinals. Might be that hangover still lingering, but this is a Partizan team that's got it done with guts, effort, never giving in all year, so we'd be surprised to see this lackluster performance continue. Nice look inside. CSKA's find Khan, who is fouled from behind. They'll get Branislav Dikic with his first.
And CSKA continues to run and screen and roll, and they do that very, very well. They come off your Khan sets it with the pick and then rolls right to the basket. And
both hammered them there.
Both hammered them, both a step late, so the rotation wasn't quite there. Now Khan goes to the line, who may be one of the worst looking foul shots that I've seen in basketball. I mean, he along with the real Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, they just shot put it up there. You get another one. He didn't need it though.
So Khan with a single point. He had 9 points, 10 rebounds in that semifinal loss to Barcelona. 64-54 score. Now CSKA pushes their lead up to 11 as it continues to grow. It's a foul on CSKA. Trajan Langdon.
Well, if I'm CSKA, I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on both the ball and the players, and then when the ball goes inside to rotate. Now there's Bosic on the three, and he is one of the players for Partizan who can really shoot the ball from outside. Him and Kekman both.
And that stops a 9-0 CSKA run, but it's still an 8-point lead for the team from Moscow. Drive won't go for CSKA. March the rebound.
Yeah, that was nice.
The lob ahead for Beasley. Boy, McCollum was making eye contact all the way down the floor and delivered a beautiful pass to Vesely.
Yeah, now Vesely made a great defensive play against CSKA, forced him into a real tough shot, made him change the shot, and then ran the floor. And now he reaches in with a careless foul there, but you know, you played great defense and then ran the floor, which he can do, and a terrific pass, terrific two-man game there by McAuliffe and Beasley.
Karapa at the line, can't get the roll. Karapa, winner of the Best Defender trophy. Production as far as points and rebounds was a bit below what we expect from him in the semifinal. He had 5 points and 5 rebounds in 27 minutes. A tad bit of foul trouble in the first half for Karapa, but They'll be wanting more production out of him today. Dikic going to the bench with 2 fouls. Ziskauskis for CSKA also sitting down. And he's replaced by Nikita Kurbanov, number 5 in red for CSKA. First action of this Final Four. Here's Bozic. Roberts steps into a 3.
Boy, he has really improved his outside shot. He just steps out. Nice pass. Shoot that with a lot of confidence. He just caught the ball, got the timing down.
This time they are all over Langdon. Bozic commits the foul.
Yeah, Bozic is a very good one-on-one defender. There's the pass to the weak side. And CSKA slow a little bit in the rotation, but a terrific shot there by Roberts. But they're running, you know, they're going to Langdon. Langdon's got the hot hand, and he's running off screens. Bosic's a very good one-on-one defender, but Langdon is a very smart offensive player, knows how to run defenders off the picks. Bosic got a little bit aggressive that time.
12 points in the semifinals. He's already passed that in the first quarter. Of this third place game, 22-16. Keckman back in. Feed for Maric. Lost the dribble, gonna have to force it up against some contact. It'll go as a foul on Sasha Khan.
Well, Khan does a real nice job here early on, and then when he steps in, Khan moves into him a little bit, and Maric draws the foul.
It's an interesting matchup, Gail. You and I were talking about it. These two guys played against each other at least twice a year throughout their college careers, with Khan playing for Kansas, including winning a national championship, and Maric, really a 4-year player as well for Nebraska during that same period.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and you know, although I watch them both now, and I think it's pretty safe to say that both players are extremely much better than they were in college.
There's no question about that. The improvement's been very strong, particularly this past year. Really a great leap forward for both these guys to two of the significant big men in Europe now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think both, you know, are very hard workers, and they play hard. They come to play every night, and they have just improved immensely. Maric, we didn't even see last year in Euroleague. Khan played very little for CSKA, but they really developed.
J.R. Holden getting in on the act here, providing a little more distance. Back up to an 8-point lead for CSKA. First basket of the game for Holden. He's been part of those 8 straight Final Fours for CSKA. Corner 3 is good for Alexander Rasic. His first basket.
And Partizan moving the basketball very well, getting the open man, and Maric.
And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. As CSKA Moscow coming out to a hot start. They've led by as many as 11, but they've got a 5-point advantage heading for quarter number 2 in Paris-Bercy.
Well, Mark, both teams are shooting the ball very well from 3-point range, and you know, Partizan has turned the ball over 6 times, which has hurt them. They have got 10 rebounds and rebounded very well, which they do. But both teams, again, are shooting the ball, I think, very, very well from 3-point range.
CSKA with the ball to start the second quarter. Kirapa, the drive to the basket. Oh, reverses it home. Great spin with the left hand to finish it.
Yeah, great recognition by Kirapa that time. Roberts comes out, really makes a bad defensive play, and Karapa's able to put the ball on the floor and go really right to the basket. And Roberts, he's got to come out on that defensive player and challenge him, but oh, he gets him up in the air and then, you know, just goes right around all the way to the basket. Maric a little step late in terms of coming over and helping a little bit there.
Kirapa picked up the foul. Non-shooting foul here to open the second quarter. Maric inside. Good hands, 2 men around him, squeezes it up, but Keckman's going to actually get credit for stuffing that back home.
Yeah, the ball's on the rim, but that's okay. It's in play in Euroleague.
Kirapa sizing up Roberts. Now it's Khan down low. Right back out Karapa, 3 on the way. He's got it. Victor Karapa with 8 points, including 5 quick ones here to start the second.
Yeah, and CSKA very good in the two-man game. Little screen in a row. Karapa and Khan do that very well. Go inside, and when Maric drops back a little bit, go outside to Karapa for the jumper.
Kekman drive and kick. Vesely. 3 won't go. Rebound Karapa. First rebound of the game for Victor Karapa.
CSKA going to run their offense.
Langdon gives to Khan. Back out for Langdon. Catch and shoot. He's still hot. He's got 18 points now after a 15-point opening quarter.
Boy, you cannot drop off of Langdon. The guy can really shoot the basketball, and he can knock him down.
Trajan Langdon came ready to shoot today. He's already got 18 in this game that Partizan's been down by 11. Quick catch and shoot won't go for Kekman. It's tipped out of bounds by Karapa, so it'll be Partizan ball underneath. Vranic back in, gives to McCollum. McCollum on the breakdown inside, blocked by the helping Karapa with both hands. Roberts still after it. Oh, we're going to get a foul on Khan, who says, I was straight up.
Boy, Karapa made a great play. Came from all the way across the lane as Caleb was going to that basket, and he knew he was going to shoot the ball. Good work, though, by Roberts on the offensive rebound. Khan probably going to have to take a seat now with that foul.
Lawrence Roberts in the semifinal overtime loss to Olympiacos had the 5 points, 7 rebounds, also had 5 assists in that game.
You know,
and 5 turnovers.
I'd like to see Partizan try to run a little bit more. I think they're going to have to get out in transition to go instead of try to get some easy shots against this tough CSKA defense, because they're pretty tough when they get to set up their defense in the half court. Another offensive rebound by Partizan as they continue to work hard on the boards.
That was Kekman with the hustle play. McCallum gives for Kekman. It's Trajan Langdon guarding him. Here's a screen from Vranic. Vesely working on Karapa. Now it's Roberts. 4 on the shot clock. Kekman to the baseline, nowhere to go. Finds Vesely, who beats the clock with a jam.
Boy, Vesely does a nice job of finding the area in the passing lane, making himself attractive, and a great pass by Kekman.
8 points for Vesely on just 4 shot attempts. He's made 3 of them. And a foul as Langdon goes tumbling.
See, we can take a look here. He drives, and then Vesely just gets right into that little passing lane to make himself attractive.
That was close.
Yeah.
Close to a shot clock violation. They used it all. Still a 9-point deficit for Partizan. Long inbounds, tipped away by Kekman, but it's going to stay with CSKA. Kekman saying it touched Langdon last, and I thought it did as well.
Yeah, I think it did too. Yeah, they're going to overrule.
And they are. Good work by the officiating crew. Daniel Herizuela, you're looking at him there, the crew chief, along with Fabio Pacini and Oleg Ladisev. Herizuela from Spain, Pacini from Italy, and the Latvian Ladisevs. The crew working today's third-place game. Lob inside for Vesely. 2 men around him. Left-hand shot is good.
Boy, what a terrific left-handed shot and good movement. He did that obviously. Look at, he holds off Karapa there, holds him off, then goes right up all over using the left hand. And the youngster gets 2 more. That's number 10.
It's like Sokolov is into the game. Dmitry Sokolov, first Final Four appearance for him. Wearing number 30 in red. Oh, Langdon, he can't miss. He's got 20.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing a terrific job. Again, he comes off Sokolov on the screen that time. He's very wisely running his man. Kekman's having really trouble staying with him.
Roberts answers with a three. Langdon's getting his offense inside and outside the arc. He's 3 for 4 from 2, 3 for 4 from 3, and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Roberts knocked it away. It'll stay with CSKA. 6-point advantage. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Kurbanov comes out for the team from Moscow. And into the game is Andrei Vorontsovich, number 20 for the first time. Shot clock down to 5. Kirop to the baseline. Back to Vorontsovich. And he drops it in.
Yeah, he's a good young player, Vorontsovich. And nice goal again. A terrific pass by Kirop, but driving to the hoop. And Vorontsovich just finds the open spot in that zone.
Off the fingertips of Vranish. And the turnover problems continue, Gale, for Partizan.
Well, you know, I think they average about 17 a game.
Yep.
And you know, I think they lead the Euroleague in turnovers. It's really an Achilles heel for them. They get away with it a lot because they rebound so well. So they get, you know, they make up. They don't really make it up, but they get a lot of second, third attempts here. Look at Vorontsovich. He got to shoot that ball right there at the bottom. He's wide open.
Give it back to him at the high post. Ball tipped away and then stolen by Kekman. Partizan on the move. CSKA is back, and a foul in the lane. It'll go on Dmitry Sokolov.
Sokolov, he's getting a chance to play here. He hasn't played too much here late in the season. He started early on when Khan was had a little bit of some injury issues.
McCallum out front. Gives to Kekman. Sokolov and Maric were in a battle. No whistle. Great rotation defensively there from CSKA. Still 9 on the shot clock. Kekman will let fly from 3.
Yeah, he can shoot that ball from outside. No hesitation. A lot of confidence. Moved the ball very, very well.
Partizan hanging around. Langdon carrying CSKA 20 of their 37.
And they made a switch. They put number 6 McAuliffe now on Langdon.
Oh, that's Vorontsovich. He had a little jump hook in the lane, now a little runner as well.
Well, he can shoot the basketball. He's shot the ball very well this year. He's been a very good addition in terms of coming off the bench and in many
over and back on Dinkic.
Vorontsovich is only was take a look here. There he is right there, breaking again into the middle of the that area there, and Sokolov is just a little slow to recover, but Vorontsovich is only 22 years old, and I've seen him. A lot of NBA scouts really like him, and they've, you know, in the mock drafts for this year, he's mentioned, you know, late first round, second round. I don't know if he's going to come out.
Now he'll shoot a 3
and stay in Europe, but he's an awful good young prospect.
Vesely brings it up and gives to McCallum. 7-point CSKA lead. Partizan has pretty much played from behind throughout the game. There's the drive and the score.
Yeah, McCallum, he just goes right around Vorontsovich that time, using his quickness and speed as he comes off the screen.
Well, Partizan, despite not playing their best, is hanging right in there, but nothing they can do. It's slowing Trajan Langdon. 23.
Boy, is he in rhythm.
22, rather.
Yeah, he is in rhythm. And, you know, he knows he's going to catch and shoot it when he comes off that screen. There's no hesitation.
Here's Maric. Still looking for his first bucket. Working in the lane. Still after it. Powering up and fouled from behind by Sasha Khan, who's just back in after some early fouls.
Yeah, we're going to see this McAuliffe. He just goes right around Vorontsovich on the last time down, as I cleared the side for him. Maric, I tell you, he's strong in there, and he just sort of moved Khan right out of there that time.
It'll be Maric to the free throw line.
That's number 3 on Khan.
I believe that's 3 on Khan.
Yeah, he'll sit probably for the rest of the half.
For now, still being listed as 2. Maric was 7 of 9 from the free throw line in that semifinal loss, so he did a great job at the line despite being a 63% shooter in Euroleague competition this year. March gets fouled a whole lot, more than anybody in Euroleague.
Well, you would foul him too. I mean, why not? You know, he's underneath. He's got great position on you. You foul him, you send him to the foul line, make him score from there.
CSKA gets back into the game. Gives to the corner. Carapa has it knocked away. Shot clock is down to 6. CSKA's got to get back in position quickly. Crossing over. Knocked away. McCollum has it. He'll challenge Carapa. And slammed home on the follow by Roberts.
Boy, great follow through that time by Roberts. Good defense initiated that fast break opportunity.
Partizan back within 4 after trailing double digits. Great ball movement. Wide open shot and a miss finally for Trajan Langdon.
Oh boy, good ball movement here. Goes right off the foot there. The defensive player, McCollum, he challenges everybody. He did that the other night. Came up a little short, but Roberts was right there for the follow-through. The putback.
Carapa on top. CSKA into the gap. Finds Varancevic. Fakes and is hit on the way up. So Varancevic will go to the line, shoot 2.
And Varancevic that time, I thought he got away with a little bit of a walk. He never did put the ball on the floor there. But CSKA continues to attack the zone in the middle, in that paint area. That's the weakness.
First free throw good for Varancevic. Shoots 83% in EuroLeague competition. He'll be 23 this summer. Good size, good skills.
And he shoots 55% for 2s, 34% for 3. He's a very good shooter.
Alexander Rasic coming back in, replacing Maric. So a small comes in for a big. Mitrovic comes out as well. And Vranic comes back in. Here's Vesely. Gonna make something happen on his own. Great help from Carapa to poke it away. It'll be CSKA ball.
And Vesely, I thought he got fouled there. He's like, what do I have to do to get a foul here? But the officials are letting him play.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first half. 6-point CSKA lead. They've got the basketball. Last Partizan lead was 4-3 in the opening moments. CSKA gets bumped by Vesely. Back in the hands of Carapa. 8 on the shot clock. He will let it fly from 3. Big rebound from Roberts. Gonna bring it up himself. Now McCollum has it. Good three-point shooting numbers for both teams. Roberts wide open after the slip screen, but missed the jumper.
Yeah, he was wide open. He could have actually taken one dribble and run right to the hoop.
Holden. Screen from Varancevic. Hesitation, now fires. Now McCollum coming the other way, pushing the pace. No number. Rejected by a hustling Carapa, but right into the hands of Rasic, who buries a 3.
And McCollum, I think, got hurt there. You can see a little bit.
Right back the other way. Varancevic fouled in transition.
We're going to see McCollum right here. He goes up, and here's Carapa coming all the way. Saw that play all the way. McCollum went down and got up slowly.
2 free throws for Varancevic. He's come in here in the second quarter, made a quick impact, already 6 points. Now inside a minute to go in the second quarter.
And it's a good-looking shot.
That's why he called it. Maybe. But I tell you what we saw, okay?
Quite a bit of conversation that head official Daniel Venezuela's willing to.
Great defensive play. That ball was going in, and he just knocked it out. Reached over the cylinder and knocked that ball away.
Heads up play. Lawrence Roberts Good position down low. Carapa stripped it away. Roberts has it back and finishes with a left.
He stayed with it. Carapa has shown great hands, but Roberts stays right with it. Then uses his body to shield off the defender and shoot the ball with his left hand.
Half a minute to go, and it's down to a 2-point game. Carapa, great fake inside. Siskaskis not even looking at the hoop. Boracevic, up fake, Holden. Siskaskis, this time a catch and shoot from the wing. It's a three.
He did great ball movement side to side that time by CSKA. Finally, Siskaskis with the open three.
Second hoop of the game. They're both three-pointers.
Been pretty quiet.
He has.
Hey, it is a foul, but don't hold, okay? Too sharp.
Lento,
And the ball and the red one. It was opposite. No problem. He lose the balance, no problem. No problem, no problem, no problem.
So some of the conversations of the officiating crew, they communicate very well.
Yeah, they do.
Seems like the players are reacting well to it as well.
Yeah, I think that they do that in the United States also. The NBA when you have a timeout or they get together, they talk about things to look for, what's going on. They really study the game.
In this particular crew, there doesn't seem to be any adversarial stuff going back and forth. They're willing to kind of, almost as a player, you would think that they're listening to you and they're respecting you as opposed to just being in charge and telling you to shut up.
Yeah, I think the officials, they listen to you and they do respect you. I don't know that they change anything.
They may not change anything, but they make you feel better about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So a 5-point game right now. Partizan with the ball. Down by those 5. Maric all alone inside for the dunk.
Yeah, a little miscommunication that time by CSKA there on the defensive end.
And that'll do it for the first half of play. In a first half that saw CSKA take an 11-point lead on a couple of different occasions, but Partizan, after a slow start, starting to find their way. Easy bucket to close the first half for Maric, as CSKA will take the 47-44 advantage into halftime of this third-place game at the
league team, but I did not have him as MVP. I had Palais, also from Olympiacos, as the MVP, who led the team in scoring and rebounding.
So they did announce the first team separated from the second team. Teodosic's obviously part of that. Navarro joining him in the backcourt. Kleza, who led all Euroleague in scoring. Carapa also makes the first team, who was the best defensive player in the league. And Alex Maric, a backup on a mid-level Spanish team a year ago, makes first team all Euroleague for Partizan, and this group as well. Look, you could do pretty well with this second team.
Yeah,
also.
Absolutely. You look at everybody there, and it's pretty interesting. Everybody there, except for Thiago Splitter, has made the Final Four. He was the only one of the 10 players who got selected that did not make the Final Four this year.
So a deserving group, to say the least, as we look inside Partizan's huddle. Dusko Vujocevic trying to get his team rallied after a slow start. They're looking very, very good finishing out that first half. So here's a look at the other awards that had already been announced. The Rising Star Trophy to Ricky Rubio. He's been playing at a high level for a few years, but he's only 19.
Yeah, he's only 19, and there's actually no contest there. I mean, he really led and controlled the point guard position for Barcelona. Carapa, of course, a great defensive player. We've seen a couple of sensational blocks in this first half, and Kleza, who we're going to see a little bit later, is really led the whole league in scoring, and he's certainly a big reason why Olympiacos is playing in that final game later on.
Third quarter now underway. Partizan will have it first, trailing by 3. Maric surrounded, somehow finds Roberts, and a 3-second violation.
Yeah, absolutely, a great call. But you notice the ball that time went into Maric, and the CSKA just absolutely collapsed everybody in and around, and that's what you got to do when the ball goes into Maric. And So that was a very, very good defensive effort that time by the whole CSKA team.
And it forced the turnover. J.R. Holden, hesitation move into the lane. Carapa in the corner. This is Roberts on him. Carapa, side of the rim with a three. So empty trips for each team. McCollum runs right through 4 defenders for the layup.
Yeah, one of the things CSKA's got to do is to get back in transition defense. McCollum, he pushes the ball, and he has great speed, as we saw there. He did it the same thing Friday in the semis, and he's come back with it to open up the second half here tonight.
Back within 1 for Partizan. The closest it's been since 5-4 in the opening minutes. Carapa straight down the lane and pushed from behind by Vesely.
Yeah, and they might consider a foul. He just pushes him here. I mean, he just pushes him in the back that time. I might consider
intentional
there a little bit, but they let it go.
Carapa has been around the basketball all year, both ends. Been incredible. The breadth of the ways that he can contribute statistically to a game has been remarkable. He has the first free throw good.
Well, he's a power forward who leads the team in assists. I mean, when was the last time you saw that?
It's incredible.
Yeah. He's had a sensational year.
So both free throws good for Carapa, who's now into double digits. And back to a 3-point lead for CSKA. Just over a minute gone in the third. Roberts on top. Down low, Vesely. Back out for Roberts. And he hits a three. Roberts has shot the ball well today. He's got 13. And he's got this thing tied.
Yeah, really good inside, outside that time. But if I'm Vesely, when he gets the ball in that low against the smaller Siskauskas, I make a quick move and turn and go right up and take a jump shot there. But that wasn't a good inside-out play.
That three won't go. Kahn there. And a foul on the floor after the offensive rebound by Kahn. It'll go against Vesely, so he's picked up 2 quick ones here in the third.
Yeah, he really has, and he tries to hold Kahn out. Kahn working very hard on that offensive board. Vesely now takes a seat. But he just uses his strength and moves Vesely right out of there.
Third foul on Vesely.
Playing a little boxing one now on Langdon. Playing him man-to-man, everybody else's zone.
Holden drove, but could not make the connection with Carapa, so a turnover for CSKA. Now in the hands of McCallum. Tie game. Partizan has not led since 4-3. Milosevic out front, gives to Kekman just inside the arc. And rebound Carapa.
Kekman working very well without the basketball, coming all the way from the baseline, underneath the basket, off the pick. Got a good look. Didn't knock it down, but he had a good look. And again, they're looking. They got Kekman on a one-on-one, playing man against Langdon, trying to slow him down a little bit. And everybody else are playing his own. So it's really what we call boxing one. Langdon comes off there, just fakes the shot, and Kekman missed the foul.
Kekman comes out, Bozic back in. Kekman certainly had the game plan right at that point, and don't let Langdon take an open jumper.
Yeah, now they've gone to a complete zone, 2-3 zone.
Inside, Carapa off for Kahn, and a foul from behind. Strahina Milosevic commits it.
Well, you know, CSKA is very patient against a true 2-3 zone, and that's what Partizan is playing right now. And they pass the ball well. For Partizan, I don't like their 2-3 zone. I think this, particularly against CSKA that shoots the ball well, and again, they're very patient. They also pass them well. As I just say that, they throw the ball away.
Lazy pass from Carapa, stolen by Roberts, who takes it right at Carapa, who knocked it away. Partizan will keep it underneath. 7:06 to go in the third. Another chance for Partizan.
Roberts does a nice job of aggressively taking that ball on the break, but I think he had a good opportunity there to pass the ball to his teammate cutting to the basket, open a little bit more than he was.
Down low on the block, Maric working. Jump hook is good over Kahn.
Yeah, he backs in Kahn there, does a nice little step and shoots a little hook over the left shoulder, protecting the ball.
First lead since the opening moments. And 2 is as big as it's ever been for Partizan. So give them credit. They have fought their way back.
Now we see Maric. He just backs him in, turns over the left shoulder. And, you know, shoots that ball on a little jump hook. Not really much Khan can do. Maric had such great position.
Andre Vorančević at the free throw line. Looking to salvage 1 of 2. So Partizan still with a small lead. Trailed by 11 on a few different occasions in the first half. Under 6.5 to go in the third. Maric in a post-up. Bumping with Khan. And puts it in.
Once again, he goes to that left hand. Excuse me, goes to his right there and shoots the ball over his left shoulder. Backs Khan in. That's his shot.
Maric slowly but surely starting to get some production in here. Ball tipped away again by the Partizan defense. 2 on the shot clock. CSKA to launch and hits to beat the clock. Ties it at 53.
Yeah, Partizan, I think, was very unfortunate there. They made a nice defensive play, a little good hands, and then they got sucked in on the defense a little bit. CSKA was wide open there on the outside and the 3-point line.
Little pressure here from CSKA as Holden denies the ball to McCallum to bring it up court.
Well, McCallum is really the only one that has got the speed and quickness to blow by anybody, so they can put pressure on everybody else. And he just blows by him.
Maric is there to clean up the miss, but you're right, credit to the penetration.
Yeah, absolutely. He just blows right by Holden there.
10 points now for Maric. Took a while to get going, but he's going. Holden for 3. Rebound Langdon. Scramble for the loose ball. And a tie-up situation apparently.
When 2 players is with the ball and 1 touch is ball.
Yeah, Langdon just really, when someone goes on the floor, everybody's got to go on the floor, and that's exactly what happens.
He's called a tie. It wasn't actually an official tie-up, but I think he's saying both players touched it simultaneously to send it out of bounds. So possession arrow to CSKA. CSKA can't hit that through. McCallum, hey, way up. Did he go? Smallest man on the floor got higher than anyone. Foul on Khan.
Well, right now, Maric is having his way with Khan underneath. That's his 4th. He's now going to have to sit down. And Maric, you know, he just wears on you. You know, as the game wears on, he gets stronger and stronger. And now number 8 looks like is coming in. Smolis is going to come in and try his opportunity at Maric.
Take a break here on Maric.
Right.
Wow. Maric must be licking his chops.
Well,
and Smolis is down in the lane as he was hit by Roberts.
Yeah, well, away from the ball. I don't know. Didn't see exactly what happened. Here he's holding it. They're both going at it. And, he got an elbow right to the chin.
Good battle down there, and Roberts swung the elbow through. It didn't look like a whole lot of contact.
When you get hit on the chin, I don't think you have to have a whole lot of contact.
Just a little bit on the point there, and Roberts is upset. Here's another angle.
We'll take a look at it. Yeah, I don't know. He might have sold that a little bit.
Yep. Hard to say. It wouldn't take much to sting you there. Vorančević. Smotis to the corner. Dangerous passes across this Partizan defense. A leaner blocked by Vranic.
Vranic does a great job when he tries to drive that low post paint area. Doesn't move real well from side to side, but he can stand there at 7'6" and knock down shots, and that's exactly what he did that time.
He wants it inside. They go up top to him, and he is wrapped up by Varančević, who had no other choice.
Right, here we see Langdon driving. He floats it up there. That ball looks like it's probably going in off the glass. Varančević just gets knocked away. Granic.
Caleb out front. Holden's on him. And a foul on Langdon. Alexander Đorđević, part of the Partizan title team in '92. Huge game in the final.
It's been 18 years since Partizan's been to the Final Four.
It's a long drought. They can still come home with a third-place trophy from Paris. Right now, a 2-point advantage under 3.5 minutes to go in the third.
And Partizan's going to stay in that 2-3 zone, trying to match up.
And a foul. This one on Roberts.
Personal foul is on number 4, Lawrence. That's his third personal foul.
Clay's the jersey popping up behind Đorđević.
Partizan in the penalty. And this is one guy you don't want going to the line, because he is, what, shooting 88, 89%, something like that. That's been in the 90s most of the year.
Sasha Khan saddled with the 4 fouls. Inside Vesely, and he puts it in.
He does another great job of positioning down low at a 6'11", uses his height advantage, seals off the defender, gets a nice lob pass.
Turnaround jumper is good for Varančević.
Yeah, Varančević, that's there all night long, and he's a good shooter. He ought to be real aggressive at taking that ball and just turning around. As long as Varančević is going to play that post position, he's not going to come out and guard him, so that's there all night. Now look at Vesely. Vesely's got to turn and shoot the ball right over Langdon. I mean, he's got terrific height advantage.
It's a foul. Traveling violation, in fact. Go back to Istanbul in 1992, Partizan's only title. Đorđević, a big part of that with the 23 points. The MVP of that game was Predrag Danilovic, who is the now president of Partizan. So keeping those great players close to the organization. And they'll fall a little short this year. But they did make it back to the Final Four. Holden buries a 3 from the corner. CSKA's back on top.
Yeah, and CSKA does a nice job of hitting the ball into the gap area around the paint or the free throw line, then swings the ball to Holden outside. Nice pass. Making the extra pass is CSKA.
So J.R. Holden in this game.
And he's been to the Final Four all 8 of CSKA's appearances the last 8 times.
8 consecutive. The one guy that's held it together all those years.
Yeah, and he's also, I think, was voted on the all-decade team. Recently awarded by Euroleague.
6 points and 4 assists so far tonight.
Man to man. Screen for Vesely here. Screen for Vesely, 2 and 3. And they stay like this. 5, Vesely. Ramos, they want attack rounds. 4, 2 and 1. But from Vranić, don't play 3/4 with Vranić. He's never scored the ball. Just stay in the middle. When ball come to him, you come to him with the ball. Help to Ramonas a little bit. Go. One more foul we have, guys.
Wow.
One more foul.
Talking a lot about Vesely is what they're going to run lots of screens for him, and also saying, don't worry about Vranić. He can't score the ball. Point blank.
Vesely is certainly a young player who's got a lot of potential and can score the ball. So it makes sense for Partizan to run some screens, particularly coming down low. They try to post him up. Look at him there, working hard inside, trying to get the ball.
Working on Siskaskis. Big height advantage for Vesely. And a foul on Ceska. It's a tough matchup for Siskaskis, who's not a great defender, and now giving up, what, 5 inches, right?
Yeah, he's, well, 6'11". No, he's only 2 or 3 inches, actually. Siskaska, I think, is about 6'8", something like that. 6'8". They missed him at maybe, they missed him at 6'8". And, but he's got,
Now Varacevic commits the foul in a battle with Maric.
Yeah, between Maric and Vesely, they are very big, very strong there, and they're going in the set offense. They're going to go into them. I mean, that's their game. So you got to try to fight around and get in front and force them to lob the ball over the top. It puts some pressure on the passer.
Maric back at the free throw line. One more free throw coming for him. And he's got them both. 12 points in the game for Maric. Partizan back within 1. Coming up on a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Langdon, hounded by Bozic. Gives it up for Holden. Into the lane. Varacevic on the pull-up from 15. Rebound Vesely. Rasic racing up. Pull-up jumper. Bank won't go. Maric after it. He's got the offensive rebound. And they're going to call him for an offensive foul on the clear-out.
Oh, my.
I don't know. He had both hands on the ball, didn't he, Gil?
Yeah, he did. He did clear out, and I think we're going to see here Smolitz again. He sells this right here. I mean, he really sells it.
Good angle here.
Yeah, he gets him. He does hit him. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I don't love that call. With both hands on the ball, they're all in your space. You got to be able to clear a little as long as both hands are on the ball and you're not swinging an extended elbow. But that one going against Maric.
Yeah, and they call it, it's really costly because it's an intentional here. Langdon misses a free throw, which is very unusual.
Yeah.
Now, and they're going to get the ball back. So that's a costly foul. And you're right. I think it's a marginal call because you got to clear space there. Everybody's all around reaching in. Vucevic giving a little instruction to the extra Vesely as he sits around for a few minutes.
Siskaskis with Maric on him. Now it's a double team. Varacevic knocked away by Rasic. Partizan's been able to force a number of Ceska turnovers here in the third quarter. Yeah, 4 fouls away from the ball. This Varacevic.
The personal foul on number 20, Andrei Varacevic. And substitution into the game.
Yeah, Varacevic is really outmanned underneath there. That's 6'9", and really slightly built to Maric, who's just a monster in there, but trying to do his best. Looks like Carapa's now back in, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Carapa now take his turn at guarding Maric down low.
Maric misses the second after making 3 in a row. And a rebound out of bounds over the baseline. Partizan within 1. Maric will get a break. Branish back in with 41.8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ceska with the ball, the 1-point advantage. Third place at the Euroleague Final Four line.
Area right there is open. This
slipped out of the hands of Smolitz. Bozic has no numbers. He brings it back out. Quick ball movement. And it's actually it's Dinkic to finish. Looked like Vesely the way he was running the floor. Partizan back on top.
Yeah, really nice ball movement on the break there. Created by the turnover.
10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ceska down 1. A chance to get the last word in the third. 4 seconds left. Holden shakes free for the 3. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Third place game in Paris at the Euroleague Final Four. Looks like we're heading down to the wire with another thriller. With the Palais Omnisports. Partizan. Big comeback today. They'll take a 1-point lead into the fourth. It's for Olympiacos to get their second all-time. They won in '97. But first, the fourth quarter of the third place game. Coming right down to the wire. CSKA trailing by 1 at the hands of Partizan, despite leading by 11 on a number of occasions in the first half. It is Partizan ball as we open things up here in the fourth. Mark Brown along with Hall of Famer Gail Goodrich. Glad you can be with us here on ESPN. This is Kekman looking for Maric inside. Working on Kahn, who's back in the game with the 4 fouls. Kekman buries a 3. He's got 10. This is the largest lead of the game. 4 points for Partizan.
Yeah, nice inside-outside game that time. And Kekman getting the ball and in rhythm. With his good tempo, can shoot the basketball. And Partizan is shooting the ball very, very well from 3. And this is not a great team shooting three-point team, but they're shooting 61% right now from three-point range as Holden counters with his 3.
Back to a 1-point game. Almost a minute gone in the fourth. Kekman looking for Maric. He's got it down on the block against Kahn. Kahn holding his ground well. 6 on the shot clock. Kekman in the lane. And the left hand finish. 5 quick ones for Kekman to open the fourth. Partizan back up by 3.
Well, he does a nice job of going and delivering the ball in traffic with the left hand as he challenges the bigs.
Langdon with 25 in the game, but only 3 after halftime. So Partizan's been able to slow him down a bit. 5 on the shot clock. Holden. Step back jumper. And tip back up and in by Kahn in traffic.
Kahn was open early on. Holden missed him. Took the tough three-point shot, but Kahn continues to work hard. He knows his role. When that ball goes up on the board, he's in and around the basket.
Siskauskas the great steal, but couldn't save it into a teammate. New shot clock. There was an official change of possession there. Here's Maric inside. Lost it out of bounds. They'll give Kahn some credit here, playing with the 4 fouls. He's got a hoop at one end and 2 stops at the other.
Here's Holden with the fall away. A tough shot, but Kahn just stays right with it. Looks like Siskauskas might have also got a piece of that.
Could have been. They did give the basket to Siskauskas on second look. Siskauskas with 11, so Kahn still looking for his first basket. 14 turnovers for Partizan, 7 only for CSKA. Here's Langdon. 2 men on him. Garapa down low for Kahn. 3 on the shot clock. Kahn going to the hook and banks it in.
He does a nice job of eventually getting his shot, which is a little hook over the left shoulder. Just gets a nice little position that time. Took his time. Yeah, I'm looking at the stats, and right now Partizan is leading by 15 in the rebound department, 29-14. Very, very decisive. And yet they only have, actually they're losing, trailing by 1.
7 minutes to go, and a whistle. Foul away from the ball before the ball even came across half court. As we look at the CSKA CEO, Andre Vatutin.
Kekman got cut the last play. He's going to go to the sidelines.
With that bleeding stop before he can re-enter the ball game. Under 7 to go. CSKA with the ball in the 1-point lead. Holden, 7 on the shot clock. Into the lane, wild shot, nowhere close. And Roberts clears the miss. Here comes McCallum. Great speed in the open court, challenging Holden, and Holden will be called for the blocking foul.
Boy, McCallum is just so quick going there. And Holden, who's a great one-on-one defender, and McCallum just goes right at him, which is what you want to do in the open court. Anybody with his quickness and speed.
And the cut still being tended to for Kekman. Just under the eye, right on the cheekbone. McCallum gives to Roberts. Rasic, well beyond the arc. Drops it for Maric. Working on Kahn. Still working. Still working. Left hand. And a travel.
And also, I think 3 seconds would have been also a
take your pick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can take your pick on that one. Good call by the official.
So timeout on the floor. Dusko Vujocevic battling with his Partizan team. It's been a physical matchup, to be sure, today.
Well, it really has. It's been very physical. They're letting them bang inside. They're looking for position, and it is physical. A lot of reaching, a lot of hands.
Banging bodies, people hitting the floor. Well, they've definitely come out motivated. The third place trophy, definitely something that these teams will be willing to take home. But at this point, it's not clear who that'll be. We look at the fouls. There's been 37 fouls called today, 21 on Partizan. So a quick look ahead as we look at some of the top scorers, shooters, rebounders, and passers in the Barcelona Olympiacos matchup for the Euroleague title.
And, you know, as I look at those numbers, I think I'm looking forward to Teodosic versus Rubio. That's a great matchup at the point guard position, although Teodosic will play some, I think, at the 2 position. Kleza, he's got to score for Olympiacos to win. Navarro, he's the shooter for Barcelona. So this is going to be a great matchup this next ball game.
Sure is. And if we don't get the Teodosic Rubio as much, we might get the Papaloukas Rubio. That could be just as fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Papaloukas, of course, one of the greatest point guards of all time, and Rubio, the youngster who will be. This is 19 years old. I think this is what, his 3rd year, 4th year with Barcelona.
Up Seska getting the quick hoop down on the baseline from Kurapa to go up by 3.
Seska once again attacking that zone with nice little passing, very patient, finding the open area with that zone.
Roberts the drive and draws the foul. Kahn was there. Kurbanov raising his hand.
There's a nice little pass by Kurbanov, big to big. And I think they're going to call Kleza for that foul. I think he got Roberts underneath on the drive.
Bozic comes out for Partizan. They're trailing by 3. Kekman is back in. He's got the patched up job on the just below the left eye. Steri strips being employed. And Roberts gets the second. 1-point game.
It's got a quiet 14 and 8 rebounds. Excuse me. He's had a nice, solid ball game.
That he has. Coming up on 5.5 to go. Kurapa inside Kahn. Out for Langdon. Rebound Kurbanov. Langdon has not had anywhere near the amount of open looks he had in the first half.
No, you're absolutely right. They've done a nice job of really concentrating.
Tough pass. He put it at the feet of Kurbanov. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Kurbanov open from the corner. That's a 3. First basket of the game for Kurbanov, who didn't play in the semifinals. That's a huge one to put CSKA up 4. Vesely with Kurbanov on him. Try Kurbanov's luck on the youngster from the Czech Republic. Kekman out for McCallum. Kekman in for the rebound. Blocked inside, but it'll be Partizan ball. And a relatively fresh shot clock, 23 seconds.
And when that ball goes up, look, watch all the, well, here we see Karbanov hit the outside three in the corner all by himself. But when that ball goes up on the offensive end, Partizan just sends everybody to the offensive boards. They just pound the offensive boards, and one of the reasons they led Euroleague in offensive rebounds this year.
Here's McCallum. Roberts the drive, and a reach-in foul on the way in. It'll go against Victor Carapa. It's his third.
That's his third personal foul.
4.5 minutes to go. Non-shooting foul. No bonus yet.
Try to run Keckman off the screen here. Got to get an open shot.
Baseline drive, forced it into traffic. Out for Rasic, who missed. Loose ball collected by Langdon. Now into the hands of Holden. A 4-point lead. Just over 4 minutes to go for CSKA.
CSKA will walk it up, take some time, run some clock, run their offense.
Foul away from the ball. Vranic is complaining again, but he had jumped out to try to block the progress of Langdon, who is trying to run off some screens.
Well, Langdon has really slowed down here the second half. We see the contact there, not really much. The officials are letting a lot more go than just that. But Langdon continues to work without the basketball, trying to get open. They continue to set screens.
Trouble with the handle there. Diving by Rasic to try to save it in. Tumbling with him over the sideline was Holden. It will remain CSKA ball, but there's only 8 seconds on the shot clock. They'll have to be mindful of that.
And, you know, Partizan has made a little bit of an adjustment. They've put McCallum, the quicker McCallum on Langdon this second half a little bit, and he's caused them a little bit of problems. Great hustle there by Partizan. They didn't come up with it, but that's the kind of hustle you like to see.
So with a timeout on the floor, fourth quarter action. We'll take a break. Well, coming down to crunch time as we look at Bo McCallum. He had 21 points in that overtime thriller, a loss for Partizan at the hands of Olympiacos. Today, he's not been nearly as effective. 2 for 9 from the field. Of course, he suffered a right calf cramp late in that ball game. Had to miss some key moments of it before coming back. And who knows whether tightness is in that calf can still be slowing him down a bit. His matchup today is Holden.
Yeah, he has had a quiet night here, but you know, he's capable of exploding any time. I mean, he is a very intense and very competitive player as we see him go high for that loose ball
while being fouled. McCallum is an incredible competitor and a second-team All-Euro selection. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, he's way up above everybody else, and he's just, you know, 6 feet tall, 1.83 meters.
Well, the Cavs must be working if he's springing up there like that, that's for sure.
As we go down here to the warning moments of the fourth quarter, he's very explosive and likely to step up his game at any time.
CSKA with a 4-point advantage. Partizan with the ball. They've led a number of times here in the second half after basically trailing the entirety of the first half. Here's Keckman. 3:20 to go. Looking inside high for Vranic. Taken away by the helping Holden. The pass was a little long. And then a foul given up by Keckman.
It's hard to overpass Vranic, but he did it. There's the screen. The switch is open. Just a little bit too much.
Substitution for Partizan Belgrade, number 20.
So Keckman commits his third foul. To the bench for now. Just over 3 minutes to go. Back in the hands of Holden. Shot clock down to 10. Holden trying to create. Pull-up jumper. Couldn't hit over Vranic. Karbanov Had the offensive rebound, but knocked away by McCallum. McCallum, though, was out of bounds when he had contact with the ball. So CSKA is going to keep it and get a new shot clock.
Yeah, it was great awareness by McAuliffe. He came all the way from across the court using his quickness and just didn't quite get it back in time. But boy, what quickness and what effort by McAuliffe that time.
CSKA will be patient here, no doubt, with the lead.
And it's McAuliffe right now who's on Langdon, and he's doing an excellent job of running with Langdon and guarding him all over the court.
Karapa inside for Kahn. Kahn back out Kurbanov. Couldn't hit 2 threes. Vranic the rebound. Streaking up court. Rasic lays it in off the McCallum feed, and a 2-point game.
And that's what Partizan can really do. The rebound, the kick out to McCallum, the speed and the quickness, and a great delivery on the break. That's what Partizan can do, and that's what they need to do to get good high-percentage shots against this CSKA defense.
Holden drives into trouble. He's tied up by Roberts. Alternate possession on this one should go to CSKA.
But right now we're seeing CSKA, they're trying to do a little bit too much offensive, and here we see the streaking number 10, Rasic, getting a great pass from McAuliffe on the break. But CSKA is really having trouble getting good high-percentage shots right now.
Wild shot thrown up to beat the shot clock, but it never did hit the rim, so the shot clock violation comes nonetheless. With 1:56 to go, Partizan gets their stop and will have the basketball.
Last couple of minutes, Partizan's been playing very, very good defense, particularly McCallum on Langdon, who's really the shooter out there for CSKA with Siskaskas on the bench, and now we see Siskaskas come back in, so they've got another shooter on the floor.
Minute and 3/4 to go. Partizan down by a deuce. McCallum back out Rasic. Roberts lost it off his foot as he tried the baseline drive. It'll go over to CSKA.
Yeah, great idea. Just the execution wasn't there. Roberts with a real quick move and trying to penetrate and go to the basket. Had the lane. Ball goes off his, unfortunately, the ball goes off his foot, and then a turnover for Partizan.
Vranic back up to come in. Rasic comes out.
That's number 16 turnover for Partizan. He's been right about average.
Bijosevic has been going offense-defense with the Maric and Vranic tandem as best he can. Vranic back in now at 7'6". Siskaskas. Oh, got bailed out there.
Bassey doing a nice
near
job.
Steal and a foul.
Almost.
McCallum.
Yeah, almost. There's a reach in right there. Got the ball, but then also got the wrist.
Yep.
Just a half a step late.
Good strength there from Langdon. Did not allow the clean steal. Turned into the foul for McCallum. The drive into the lane. Karapa lost it. And then foul.
Terrific recovery by Roberts that time on the drive with Karapa.
Split screen of young head coach Pichutin on the right and CEO Andre Vatutin of CSKA. A lot of confidence put in the young head coach, former player, with Heitor Messina moving on.
Boy, a tough foul there by CSKA. Now we walk the length of the court. Roberts gets to shoot with the clock stopped. Only a minute to play. An opportunity to tie the game.
Ooh. Flat free throw there. He's just 2 for 5 from the line today on an otherwise strong performance. Has turned it over 6 times. The foul on Karapa was his 4th, so that's an issue. 1 of 2 made. So Partizan within 1 with 1:05 to go.
Nice follow through.
Into the game for CSKA Moscow.
Big possession now. Partizan got to make a stop.
Under a minute to go. Again, they deny Langdon the ball. Kahn gives it back for Holden. 8 on the shot clock. Holden fouled from behind. A reach from Bozic with 47.8 to go.
Yeah, I don't like the reach. Well, they had one to give.
Foul to give, so no bonus yet. CSKA ball to inbound. But a new shot clock, which they'll try to use most of with their 1-point lead.
Good pressure, defensive pressure.
In no hurry here. 11 on the shot clock. Into the hands of Siskauskas. Siskauskas by Vranic. And a reach-in foul on Kekman as he went to the basket.
And there's something where Vranic just comes out and he just doesn't have that good lateral movement. Siskauskas goes right around. Kekman recovers, but has to reach in for the foul.
It's Siskauskas at the line. An outstanding free throw shooter is Ramūnas Siskauskas. However, he's missed his only 2 tonight.
Maric comes back in.
It's the first for 12 points in the game and a 2-point lead. This for a 3-point advantage with 26.4 to go. And naturally, Siskauskas has it. Here comes McCollum. See what Partizan does here. Don't absolutely need a 3. Bozic has it. He is a threat for sure. A lot of time going off here. Inside, Maric gets a bump, and he will have 2 free throws. So the clock stopped at 15.4 to go, and it will be Alex Maric at the free throw line for 2.
And Maric sets the screen, rolls to the basket. Kind of half a step late. That's number 5. He sits down. He's out.
So Kahn fouls out on his 5th with 3 points and a rebound today. It'll be Maric. 2 free throws. Money on the first.
Yeah, you got 15 seconds to go. If you're Partizan, you got to play tough defense. Try to steal the inbound pass, but you're going to have to foul and extend this game.
He's got them both. It's a 1-point game. CSKA will have the ball and 15.4 seconds to go, trying to protect this lead. And we'll have a timeout as these 2 coaches try to manage these final 15.4 seconds to perfection. Let's look inside the huddle of CSKA and Evgeny Peshutin.
We stay like this. Get the ball in. Ball is here. We stay like this. Vertical. Vita. Shishka. No, Trajan. You go down. Nikita. We stay opposite side. Jay on the ball. We do like this. Trajan down. Vita. After that, screen for what?
No, you good. Okay.
Look, without any screen, Trajan, you just go screen. Shishka, Vita, off the screen, roll down here. And Shishka, you drop to the ball, okay? Understand?
We get the ball in.
Look, basket is here. What?
Okay.
What?
No.
Jay got the ball.
So the entirety of that huddle figuring out what they're going to run to get the ball inbounds.
Well, you know, if I'm CSKA, I want the ball in the hands of Langdon or Siskauskas. And it looked like, or it sounded like they want the ball to go to Siskauskas.
Yes.
But I just as soon have it go to Langdon. Either one of them, you know, obviously is a good choice. If I'm a Partizan, I've got to try for the steal on the inbound pass. If I don't get it, I've got to foul. And I try not to foul Siskauskas. Overplay Siskauskas and overplay Langdon so that someone else has to take the pass in. And I pressure the ball. Now there's no pressure here, so this is bad because he's got all time to pick out whoever he wants to throw it to.
And it's Kirapa right back to Holden, and no foul.
Yep.
Still no foul as they move the ball ahead of it. Now in Langdon's hand. Precious seconds, about 6 have ticked off the clock. and they got it into the hands of Langdon, their best free throw shooter.
Yeah, and Vucevic is really upset at his team, but on the other hand, he put no pressure on throwing the ball out of bounds, on the out-of-bounds passer. So he can take his time. He's got 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a lot of time in which to find an open player.
Langdon's 8 for 10 from the line today, which is below his season average of 92%, so he's due to make 2. And he's got one there to make it a 2-point lead for CSKA. 9.5 left. No matter what he does here, still there'll be a chance for Partizan.
Yeah, got to call timeout, move the ball to half court.
Langdon's got them both for the 3-point lead. And now Partizan will have to draw something up and hope for a heroic finish to try to tie this thing up at the end of regulation.
The three outside shooters, 3-point shooters for Partizan is Bosic and Kekman.
Ask the coach if they're thinking to make the foul, so we know they're going to make the foul.
Yes, but if there is a slide like now,
yes,
leave it and go. Come on.
No. Normal contact, normal foul must be. Okay. That's it, okay? You speak.
See, the officials are anticipating the foul.
Yes.
Which, if I'm CSKA, I'm going to foul. Make him shoot 2 free throws. And don't let him get a 3 off.
Stani u liniju, ovde neka bude li, neka trči ovde, ostali u slobodan prostor. Ima vremena. Čekajte,
Keep the score. Low, guys. One more time. Vija. Here it's the ball. It's Nikita here. Anyway, he just stay here.
Yes.
On the cut. Let them dribble drive inside, but no 3. Stay everybody on 3-point shot. Force them down. Okay, go.
Good information there from Evgeny Pashutin saying let them dribble drive. No threes. No threes.
Yeah, no threes whatsoever. Now we have also, you can let a couple of seconds go off the clock and then give the foul. Okay. Make him go to the foul line.
Kekman, Bosic, McCallum, Roberts all into the game. They can all shoot threes.
Kekman and Boseman are the best.
Here's McCallum driving quickly, and he's fouled before the 3, so less than 2 seconds goes off, and they're forced to give up the foul right there. Holden, rather.
Yeah, he gets the foul probably a little bit too soon, but it's not going to hurt him because they're going to get the ball back.
So 2 free throws for McCallum, and he gets the first. 7 points for McCallum. This to make it a 1-point game. Still 7.7 seconds left, so a lot more to go here in the 3rd place game. McCallum makes the second. Now here comes an inbound, but first a timeout. So we're almost to the spot where we were just a couple of seconds ago. And meanwhile, a look ahead. About an hour after the finish of this one, we will have Barcelona and Olympiacos for the 2010 Euroleague Championship. Barcelona was phenomenal from start to finish. Just a little bit better most of the year than Olympiacos, but 2 very deserving teams battling it out for the championship. It was great heroics by Olympiacos in a overtime ball game against Partizan, where they needed a hoop with 2.6 seconds left by Josh Childress.
And these 2 teams, Barcelona and Olympiacos, were probably the 2 most consistent teams in Euroleague all season long. So it's just fitting that they'd be in the finals.
It is. Great talent, great depth on both sides. As we look into Dusko Vujosevic's huddle for Partizan, down 1, 7.7 to go. Well, on Friday, this was it. Came down to this missed 3, but alley-ooped in, as it turned out, by Childress to tie the ball game with 2.6 seconds left in regulation. It would go on into overtime, tightly fought as well, before Olympiacos was able to do it. But it was this moment right here, incredible, that put Olympiacos in position to win it in overtime. Now, back to our 3rd place game. It is CSKA to inbound, midcourt. 1-point lead with 7.7 seconds to go, all the way out for Karapa, and then the foul given up by Partizan with 6.4 seconds left. So CSKA's going to have to make free throws again. This time it's Karapa, who is under 70% by a fraction on the season.
Yeah, Partizan did a much better job of really denying the ball to Langdon and to CSKA that time, forcing the ball to go to Karapa. Karapa now is not nearly as good a free throw shooter, so we still have a lot of time left.
And he misses the first. Karapa's got the second, but a 2-point game with 6.4 to go. Plenty of opportunity here for Partizan. And a substitution, no timeout. They'll need to go the length of the floor. It's in the hands of McCollum. 5 seconds to go, crossing midcourt. McCollum gets to the basket, lays it in with 1 second to go. The long pass, Holden lets fly. It would have been a 2. But we're going to overtime.
6 seconds is not a long good time for McCollum to go the length of the court. He uses tremendous speed and just went all the way coast to coast.
He had 6 seconds, was plenty of time with time to spare for McCollum. Laid it in with over a second to go. Here's another look. So that is the game tying overtime forcing drive from McCollum. Part of a 5-minute overtime will be needed to decide this one after McCollum, with a 1.5 seconds left, finished a trip all the way down the court for the tying hoop. And Partizan will have the basketball to start the overtime with this third-place game of the Euroleague Final Four in Paris. Mark Brown along with Hall of Famer Gail Goodrich. What a thrill. It is a second straight game in the Final Four that Partizan is going to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, again, McCollum going length to length in the court for the final layup there. Just a tremendous individual effort. And Partizan in the half court, going right inside, go back outside.
Keckman buries a 3.
Partizan continues to really lighten it up from three-point range, shooting some 50% from three-point range.
15 points for Keckman. He gives Partizan a 3-point advantage to open the overtime. Kurban off the drive. Rebound Vesely. And now McCollum will walk it up. He wasn't walking in those last 6 seconds, that's for sure.
No, I'm not going to go inside right now. I mean, you got Vesely inside. You got Marek inside. Go right back into him. Vesely. He's got Langdon. Turn and shoot the ball.
Somehow he doesn't. Instead gives to McCollum, who misses. But the offensive rebound, March back into the hands of McCollum. And a fresh shot clock for Partizan with a lead under 4 to go in overtime.
And Partizan continues to do a great job on the boards. 35-18 advantage.
Keckman firing again. Not nearly with the same success. Now Holden getting the play from Pashootin. Will walk it up for CSKA. Third place game now going to overtime for the third time in the last 6 years at the Euroleague Final Four. You think they don't want the third place trophy? Absolutely do. Holden misses the long 3. Keckman the rebound. Partizan in the driver's seat here as they had to come from behind late to force overtime. March spinning in traffic. Won't go. Tipped around and collected by Holden. Up quickly Siskauskas. Guarded by Vesely. Has a screen. Karapa knocked away momentarily. Has it back. And fouled by Vesely. That's his 5th, so Vesely is out.
And that will hurt because he's done a really nice job on Siskauskas defensively. Offensively, he's had a good productive 12 points. Good young player, plays hard. A little upset at himself there.
And Bozic going to come in off the bench. Completely different type of player. Vesely does so many more things, but Bozic is a deadly 3-point shooter. Here's Kirapa.
One.
It was a Kirapa miss that opened the door for overtime. 1 of 2. Kirapa's got 14 points in the game. Second to Langdon's 27 for CSKA. There's Bozic. Hand of Kekman. Roberts. 3 on the way, Bozic. And rebounds over the top and hitting the shot clock, so CSKA will get the basketball.
Partizan back to man-to-man.
Holden with Bozic on him. Langdon hounded by McCallum. Finally gets free behind the screen. Buries a 3. CSKA is on top by 1.
I think, that was good defense by Partizan, but Langdon really with a quick release. He earned that one.
30 points for Trajan Langdon. McCallum into the lane. Draws contact from Holden. And is going to have 2 free throws.
Right now, Partizan on the court really has got a couple of opportunities. One is Maric down low. McCallum driving the paint area. That's what we saw there.
Well, Jan Vesely, the young man from the Czech Republic, fouling out with the 12 points and 5 rebounds in his 3rd place game. At the moment, though, his teammate is tying it up. Bo McCallum at 82 with 1 more free throw coming, looking for his 12th point. And he's got it.
Well, he has stepped up here the last couple of minutes.
Under 2 to go in overtime.
Now they're back to the zone as Partizan continues to mix it up defensively.
Langdon from deep. Not this time. Vranic the rebound. Keeps it high as he should. Now Partizan after the stop. Ball in the lead.
And they will run some clock. Being very deliberate.
Kekman. Bozic. Fires. That's a 3.
Big shot that time by Bozic.
4-point game. Bozic has hit a couple of 3s today. None bigger than that one. Under a minute and a half to go. 4-point deficit for CSKA. Kurbanov steps back. Now on the drive. Inside Kirapa. Cutting Langdon. Bank won't go. No basket. The foul happening before, so the follow slam won't count.
Here we go. We see Bozic coming off the screen by Vranic. Down low. Langdon just doesn't close out fast enough.
Peter Bozic might not have been in the game were it not for Vesely fouling out. And boy, doing what he does best. Look at the numbers for Langdon today. Ridiculous shooting. Now with 31 points.
Well, he's just been super. There's no question. He's had one heck of a ball game.
Might not be enough. He gets both for 32 points, but that is only to pull his team back within 2. Under a minute and a quarter to go. In overtime. In the hands of Kekman. He's handled a lot down the stretch here. Wants Bozic again. This time Siskauskis out to him. 2 men on him. 8 on the shot clock. McCallum driving and turning it over.
That time got a little bit too anxious. Tried to force the play. Holden does a great job of sliding in front.
Quick on quick right there.
Oh, absolutely.
McCallum not certain that it wasn't a block. It was a close one. Both guys moving at the speed of light. In any event, CSKA with a ball down 2. 48 seconds to go. Holden. Corner to Langdon. Kirapa. Back for Langdon. Quick ball movement. Karapa in the lane. Extends to the basket. He'll have a chance for the lead. Ties it with the 2. A chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, great ball movement at that time. Nice passing. Moving the basketball. The fake. Coming back right. Uses his body to protect the ball. Takes it off the glass. Tie ball game.
36.8 seconds to go. Vranic comes out. Maric back in. 5th foul on Bozic, so he's done.
They're running out of shooters, Partizan is.
Karapa to the lead. He's got it. 17 points for Karapa. Half a minute to go in overtime. Kekman on top. Rasic to the corner. Pull-up jumper for the lead. Partizan back on top by 1.
Terrific play that time. Rasic coming off the screen. The quick dribble. The open jump shot.
Shot clock is off. CSKA down 1. In the hands of Langdon. Falling over, gives to Gurbanov. Open look for Holden for the lead. He's got it! It's a 3! J.R. Holden. 8 straight Final Fours for CSKA. Delivers a 3-ball with 2.4 to go in overtime.
Wow. We are seeing some clutch shooting. Holden right there. The good pass out. Go one side, kick it to the weak side. Open 3. Count it. Holden.
No doubt about that one. Folks, this is just the 3rd place game. We've still got the championship to come. What a day of basketball at the Palais Omnisports in Paris-Bercy for the Euroleague Final Four. Barcelona and Olympiacos still to come, but the final seconds of overtime.
Double team. Whoever has the ball out, CSKA, you take it.
CSKA here. Oh, CSKA here. And we got him. McCallum go here. And he go to attack one-on-one. CSKA. But not so much like that, like shadow down there.
Yeah, there you go.
No, the double team to catch. No. Like, look.
Protect here.
Now I like him. I like the pressure of the ball. I like the pressure of the ball. The guy that's taking the ball out of bounds. Don't let him stand there and just pick out a receiver.
We'll see if they do it. They haven't.
No, they haven't. I mean, there's two theories here, and that's the one I like.
We'll see what they do. Partizan down by 2.
They will. McCallum should come and get the ball. No doubt they will go to him. Now they press.
2.4 seconds to go. McCallum will do the inbounding. Holden is backing off him here a bit to play a little center field. They go to Maric, back to McCallum. 1 second to go, let's fly for the win, and it falls away. And CSKA will survive in overtime to claim 3rd place at the 2010 Euroleague Final Four.
Exciting game. CSKA Moscow takes the 3rd place in our Euroleague Final Four.
It wasn't.
From around the globe, searching for the
games at the Final Four.
CSKA Moscow comes up ahead.
And they come up without a win in his first trip back since the '92 championship. Dusko Vujocevic, though, it's been a
juego por el tercer lugar. La última jugada. McCallum up there. He gets a good look. With good pressure. Just doesn't go. But Partizan has got to really be proud. This is a team that's come a long way this year. And they had 2 great games here in Paris.
Just came up a little short. Having to sweat that one out as we look at the bracket.